If anything, I'm a man who is held accountable for those things that he owes chat. Dr. Gene Bean. I like these candy handing out ideas you're throwing around. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. Tier 1, 2 months. Welcome back. Thank you for the resub. God, when I get a house, I want to be the cool Halloween house. Decorations, full-size candy bars, dressed up and scaring the folks the whole 9 yards. If I wasn't so hot and heavy into, you know, content creation this month, I would potentially be, you know, annually escalating. I mean, we've got some decorations on the front yard. We're gonna be the cool house handing out like full-size candy bars this year. It's just gotta kind of be, you know, incremental. I think I don't have the time to dedicate like 3 or 4 day weekends, essentially just dressing up the house. That said, yo, what if, Rini? What if I wasn't on the roof? What if Noah just made me essentially a like a haunted soda shop storefront, almost like a kissing booth? What if Noah made me like a little haunted soda shop storefront, complete with chalkboard sign or dry erase board sign that said, "Here are your choices," and then just a little like 6 foot chute of pipe that we just toboggan the candy bar down. That would be way less labor intensive, and it means that I would not be sitting on a roof all night. Like a zombie soda shop, something. Little haunted, little Tim Burton-esque Diagon Alley style soda shop. Oh, that's like that. That was the pipe idea was an idea that, like, when people threw it out last year, sounded like such a smart call for social distancing, but it was also kind of a fun delivery vehicle, you know. So anyway. I want to do something relatively easy, but I don't know that I have any relatively easy left. What's going on over on Tainted? What do I have on Tainted?
This is the story of the newest denizen of the cave.
I could go like Isaac, like Tainted Isaac to Dogma. I could go Tainted Magdalene basically anywhere. Tainted Eve, I just kind of, you know, the constantly leaking health thing is off-putting. Let's go Tainted Samson. Let's do like Tainted Samson to Blue Baby. That one's relatively cut and dry. Drone delivery? I wish. Wireless Angel Tier 1, 20 months. I'm officially in my 20s. Wireless Angel, congratulations. Thank you so much. Again, get Amber in a hot little 50s waitress outfit with you. She's got to walk the boys around. I shit you not. This conversation happened again yesterday. I asked Grayson, I was like, Grayson, are you bummed out that you're not going to get to go? I was like, Grayson, I heard your mom said that there's a pretty good chance you won't be getting candy at most of the houses you go to. He goes, yeah. And I said, you all right? Is that okay? Like, I'm sure that's upsetting. And he's like, yeah, I'm a little upset. I'm like, but, like, it's cool though, right? You know why? And he goes, because chat's gonna go off. And I was like, no, dude, they went off. And he goes, like, he stopped. I didn't have his attention. He was doing stuff and talking to me over his shoulder. Like, he's doing this. And I was like, I was talking directly at him because this was like minutes after we closed down stream yesterday. And I was like, dude, no, I was like, chat's not going to go off. Chat went off, and he did the, oh, really? And I was like, yeah, man. 366 full-size candy bars in about 15 minutes. There's no way we're going to give away all of them. And he just goes, I knew it. Chat's awesome. And he just walked off. Like, that was it. He went from being kind of dejected to just being like, you guys were like the older sibling that has his back in high school, you know? Like, in a matter of minutes, he went from, wow, my third disappointing Halloween in a row. He essentially went from like, wow, my third disappointing Halloween in a row to, well, of course, chat's got my back. They always have our back. He's a teenager without being a teenager? Shit, dude, he's 2 years away from being a teenager. I hate the whole age limit on candy. Nah, I don't do that. Honestly, as long as they're respectful in how they ask. I've had teenagers come up and ask for candy at my place. I don't give a shit. Be respectful when you ask. I'll be more than happy to give you a treat. You know, especially with the last couple of years being what they were. You have somebody who potentially could have, basically could have aged out of trick-or-treating, but didn't get to go for the last couple of years. I mean, for crying out loud, that's almost Grayson. Like, Grayson's almost that guy where, you know, 2 years ago, you know, granted 2 years ago, I'm not gonna get there. 2 years ago, he didn't get to go trick-or-treating because he was being punished for bad behavior. That's his fault. But then last year was the pandemic, and then this year he's getting this, like, sort of weird, culled back version. Neat. But I mean, yeah, that's Grayson 9 through 11. Almost no trick-or-treating. Those prime trick-or-treating years robbed of him. So you're especially, you are especially damn Skippy. That for the next several years, I'm going to have an incredible tolerance for shit. I don't care if parents ask me, like, hey, would you give me a Nutrageous? I'm really dragging ass here. And I'm like, yeah, dude, here you go. Have a nice walk around my neighborhood. Yeah, I've had people show up not even in costume, who were just like, trick or treat. I'm like, yeah, grab some, get you some, you know. I trick or treated until I was about 14. I think the main reason I stopped was because my neighborhood got progressively more on the wrong side of Christianity. They sucked all the fun out of it, where like 1 in every half dozen houses was actually taking part. We can't let our kids watch Hocus Pocus or Harry Potter because it's all of the devil. That side. In addition to that, you don't know if somebody has a disability that lowers their mental age. I just, you know, it's exactly that. There's so many contributing factors that it's like, you know, I don't know what's going on, and ultimately, grand scheme of things, every year until this year I've been doing the little fun size candy bars. So it's like, is this really a hill you want to die on over 3 cents worth of chocolate and peanut butter, you know? Is this really a hill you want to die on over 3 cents of chocolate and peanut butter? I would contend it's not. Is this, you know, do you want to start a fight within a neighborhood and make a stranger completely hate you over a 2-penny York peppermint patty? I would argue you probably don't. Or at least you shouldn't want to. There are some people, that shit, the beginning of potentially being able to, like, ooh, I might be able to get into a fight and take the moral high ground on something. That's just the highlight of their day.
Flaunting your disposable income with that donation to
Lost Romeo, what have you done? Lost Romeo, thank you so much. Please say you didn't buy more candy bars. I mean, like, I'm glad if you did, but at the same time, ooh, I didn't get around the corner fast enough. I kind of knew the moment that I walked into this room I was in serious trouble. I still haven't figured out the pathing on this one. Technically not bars. Did you get like Skittles or Starburst or something? Lost Romeo, thank you so much, dude. It was very kind of you. I kind of knew. Oh, shit. Nope. Nope. Ah. I knew I was in trouble the moment I got into that room and didn't have a soul heart to spare. I have not figured out the pathing on that room. I don't know what the route is to mostly keep enemies from getting to me. I want to do what I did last year, buy a bunch of candy, put it on a table in a bucket outside with a take some sign, then I get the rest. You know, honestly, as much as I want to sit here and kumbaya the human race and talk about how we can all be better to each other, even with the you know, the Ring doorbell that, you know, records the outside of my house, If I put I just know in my heart that if I put a bucket of candy out there, especially if I do like full-size candy bars, if I put a bucket of candy out there with a sign that says "Take one," I remember having a friend in high school. Like she ran with the wrong people for a while. You're gonna be surprised when I tell you this because you're gonna be like, these people were the wrong people? They sound so nice. But apparently she told me stories about getting like coked up with her ex-boyfriend and then going out and just taking bags of candy from kids who weren't walking with adults. Ryan, what do you mean he was the wrong kind of person for her? So there's just a part of me that on a night like tonight, I know my entire, like, I get something out of giving to people. I get a very selfish, like, rush out of being the full-size candy bar house. But I also know it would just take one shitty experience where, like, I'm sitting inside having a glass of wine and the doorbell rings and somebody says, "Hi, trick or treat." I'm like, "Oh, there's a big pot, like a cauldron full of candy bars." And they're like, "Yeah, it's tipped over and empty." And you look outside and it's like, you know, the entire cauldron's gone. And you're like, shit, somebody would have had to have loaded that into a car. Huh, that was like $200 worth of candy. Well, I don't know, here's half a bottle of olive oil, it's all I've got now. Here's 6 Danish butter cookies in a Ziploc bag. If something like that happened, it would just ruin me. I would just be so miserable for all the people that I couldn't do something for. Let me catch up on chat real quick. Vio! Oh, the sushi mat. Hell yeah, man. Glitch had me put that on there. Thank you, Lost Romeo. The peanuts and the Reese's will both be gleefully accepted as well, but the sushi mat, Glitch wants me to try making my own sushi. I had a lot of Southern Baptist customers when I worked at Blockbusters that would go off on me when I suggested Harry Potter. It's so funny. It's funny to me, because I don't live there anymore, but it's funny. Tommy! I hope you're having a great vacation day. I'm sad because of the pandemic, my local theater actually does big things where they give out candy for free to anyone who comes around. Loved helping them my first year in town. Don't know if they're going to be able to bring it back this year either. I love that kind of stuff, man. If I had someone try to steal my candy, like she told me this, basically she told me this as she was getting off of drugs and she was out of that relationship. But she was basically like, I might as well have been like the eunuch best friend. I was the dude who presented no sexual risk. So I had a lot of girls who were very excited to treat me like therapy, like their free therapy session where they were just like, you know, Ryan, I feel like I can tell you anything. And it's like, oh, is it because you're falling for me? And it's like, nah, it's just because like when I picture you without clothes on, I picture you like a Ken doll. Like you're just smooth with no genitals. It's as though your underwear has fused to your pelvis. So I got told all sorts of stuff like that. Like they would feel really good about having me to open up to, and I was happy to do it, but at the same time, they'd tell me all sorts of crazy, heinous shit, and they'd do it because they'd be like, and I'll tell you this, Ryan, I'll tell you this, Taffy, but it's because I know you won't judge me. And in my heart, I was just like, that's some fucking evil shit. I'm judging you. And they'll be like, oh, it was so good to get that off my chest. Here, let me give you a long, lingering hug, and I'll keep my hands a little lower on your back to insinuate intimacy. But I'm not like gonna do anything with you. I just want you to know, this is your reward for not judging me. And this is your reward for not telling me I'm a bad person for getting coked up and stealing candy from kids on Halloween. But you're a bad person. I don't think you understand. There, shh, shh, shh. If you're especially quiet right now, I'll let you brush your hand on my breast when you're reaching in to hug me next time, and I just won't say anything. The phrase, we don't practice the black arts in my family, was spoken to me one night while I was at work. My thought was, I feel bad for your kids because they're missing out on a fun movie. I was the same thing, Taffy. My friend called me the comforter. Oh no, please. I had a girl that I had a huge crush on that used to love watching me squirm whenever she would flirt with me because she knew I just lacked the necessary conviction to act on my desires, and she thought that was adorable. Literally she had a boyfriend at this point in time. She came over to my house to watch a movie, and I was laying on the couch, and she little spooned into me. And I went to put my arms around her, but my hands could only naturally fall where her boobs were. And so I'm sitting there, and I'm trying to figure out what to do with my hands, because I don't want to, I don't want to disrespect this woman by just grabbing her tits and acting like it must be okay. So I'm sitting there kind of dancing around, like I got my hand by her collarbone, but I'm like, oh, that's too choky. You know, that's too potentially like, oh, this virgin's gonna choke me to death. And I was like, oh, well, I'll put my hand on her stomach, and that's like, oh, that's too, that's too like, oh man, maybe if I do it very slowly, I can pull her pelvis back to me. I was like, I don't know what to do. I'm so confused. And so she finally got flustered and just goes, yo, Ryan, it's a boob, my guy. And she put my hand on her breast and says, don't act like you've never touched one before. And that's the story of the first time I ever touched a woman's boob. Thanks, Christy. Very much appreciated. What's funny is that she said that, she goes, don't act like you've never touched a boob before. And I just sat there in stunned silence and very quietly sweated through my clothes. And she went, oh my God, it's the first time you've touched a tit. And I went, yeah. And she's like, yeah. I'm really sorry for sucking all the romance out of that moment for you. And I was like, it's fine. My life's mostly sad these days. So anyway, yeah, I was the very neutral, safe friend that was confided in a lot. It's just like, they're just like bags of sand. I've totally touched a boob once or twice in my lifetime. Absolutely. I'm such a boob toucher. All my friends were like, oh, that Ryan. Old Mr. Booby touchy. Always touching boob. Slinging his hands around all the boobs. Lost Romeo, thank you for the stream gifts. I will hopefully see you when you get back, my guy, my dude, my man, my main it sounds like we're going steady in the 50s now. I've made it weird. I just took it. This is why I didn't touch boob for a real long time. Little baby bacon, what's going on? Welcome. Happy to have you here. I was just talking about how for the longest time, man, I had especially girls in my high school just open up to me about all sorts of like heinous shit that they did because they were super excited that they were just like, oh well, Ryan, sorry, fucking spikes on the floor. They were super excited that I would just listen to them and not judge them, but it was mostly just that I was awkward around them and I wanted them to be near me, so I had to be like, oh no, it's totally normal. It's totally normal that you hit that old woman with a bat. If she didn't want you to do it, she wouldn't have looked at you that way. That makes absolute sense to me. She had it coming. I hope she's dead. You're absolutely right. Can I smell your hair? I want to go back and have like one of those conversations with my like 16-year-old self. Such a weird spot for that cave, or for that secret room.
This is the story of the newest denizen of the cave.
I want to go back and have one of those conversations with my 16-year-old self and be like, hey buddy, listen. It doesn't get less complicated. But you need to take a deep fucking breath because I feel like your sexual anxiety at 16 is why I have high blood pressure at 41. I'm gonna need you to dial it just way the fuck back. Oh my god, you're 41? What's it like? You've had your kids, so now sex is purely optional, and that mostly means that you just watch Only Murders in the Building instead of having sex, and it's totally fine. Sometimes it's even better. Steve Martin is a national treasure, and Selena Gomez is so good. What are you talking about? I'm just saying, just calm the fuck down. It's not all it's cracked up to be. It's nice. It's fun. You're getting a vasectomy in November because you're just tired of birth control. Because it is worth it. But all that being said, man, just fucking take a deep breath. You're gonna explode. Your little head's gonna pop. Little Baby Bacon, tier 1, month 1. We don't get very many brand new subs here because people usually get co-opted whether they want it or not in the form of gifted subs, so I really appreciate when that happens. Very much appreciate the support. Need to have that combo with my 16-year-old self as well. First time I made out with a girl, our teeth clicked, and I was like, that can't be right. I was telling Amber, like, for all the stress I put on myself in my teenage years, I can't remember the last name of the first girl I kissed. Her first name was Melissa. I know that much. I can't remember her last name to save my life. I can still see her face in my mind's eye, but... So stupid to put so much stress on it. Also, yeah, when you hear about Bitcoin, buy as many as you can. First time you hear about Bitcoin, you buy them all. Yeah, 2 out of the 3 guys from the 3 Amigos are better than sex. Get out of here. Yeah, no kidding. And the one that you think would be the cool one is actually a batshit crazy racist. Oh, really? Fletch? Really? Fletch is the one that you decided to... Okay. Caddyshack or National Lampoon's Christmas... Has that come out yet? National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation? Fletch, huh? Alright. Yes, it's a good one. I can't believe that's the first one I went after. But yeah, no, he sucks. As it turns out. Man, it's just dawning on me that at some point I'm gonna have to do like Boss Rush and Hush, and I don't wanna. Oh my god, too forgetful. Meanwhile, my talk with my 16-year-old self would be, maybe if you weren't so uncomfortable with intimacy, you wouldn't be alone. I feel like whoever's in charge of time travel pet talks is gonna reject your time visa for that one. What are you gonna do? I'm gonna go back and emotionally devastate my 16-year-old self. So a pleasure trip, or is that business? I'm gonna go ahead and stamp no. I feel like I'm preventing past crime. If I talk to my 16-year-old self, I'd tell him not to chase biology, but skip 3 wasted years and go right to my hobby, games for my career. Honestly, if I tell my 16-year-old self what my job is at 41, he'd instantly think that my job was being a pathological liar. 41, geez, what do we do? I know we're real into jets right now. Did we ever go to the Air Force Academy? Well, I mean, yeah, we visited, but then they said we had to keep our rooms clean, and we were just like, nah. That's what kept us from being a pilot? Well, that and being a little bit tall and a little bit prone to blacking out under high gravity situations. But yeah, mostly just that they told us we had to clean our rooms. Okay, so what do we do instead? Well, for a little while we were looking at going into computers in business. Ooh, that's exciting. And then for a little while we wanted to be an actor. Oh, no shit, did we win like an Oscar? Well, we did work for a while. All right, well, what did we settle on? We play video games for money. Listen, buddy, I don't know what kind of a scam you think you're running here. But my mom's a bookkeeper and my dad works at the post office. We don't have any money. You can't con us. If you just leave now, I won't call the cops. What are you talking about? Oh, well, I mean, yeah, sure. That sounds plausible. You just play video games for a living. What, you're like a QA tester? You're like a quality assurance tester? A game tester? No, you just play them for fun. And people watch. Oh, people watch and they give you money for playing video games, huh? Oh, wow. What do you moonlight as a professional masturbator? I mean, I could, I guess. There are websites for that now. Is your nighttime job receiving blowjobs from Jennifer Connelly? Wow, I really am in 1994. Ah. 1 second, Holy Cat. I got two into the, oh, okay. I got two into the bit. And now I'm like behind on chat. Mine would be, hey, so ADHD is life-altering, it's not just lol, I have a poor attention span, get treated. Man, my 60-year-old self's gonna come back and tell my 41-year-old self that, and I still won't be ready to hear it. Vio shares a birthday with Grayson. First time I kissed a girl, I was wearing glasses between her makeup and face oils. The lenses got a bit fuzzy. I thought that was just the post-makeout haze, if such a thing existed. I had that happen to me one time. I had it happen to me one time that I kissed a girl and it was so hot that we both got dizzy. Like, it was so, like, ooh, like hot. Not like, it was like, oh my god, the thermostat, turn it down. But, like, it was like, it was like, you watch cartoons where somebody, like, jams their hand into an electrical panel and it shoots them off into the next room. It was like that. But that's, like, the only time that's ever happened. Holy Cat with 5 gifted. Mr. Insanity, Mucha Magia, Hella Zach, Jay Freds, and Tupan, recipients of 5 gifted subs from Holy Cat. Holy Cat, thank you so much, man. It's incredibly generous. Incredibly generous. I surely appreciate it. Need to tell him about how the world is with COVID. No, I don't. Listen, I don't want him to not want to grow up. I don't want 16-year-old me to be like, nah, it's not worth it. I don't want him to lose so much faith that he just gives up entirely. I just want him to mellow the F out a little bit. Hollycat again, thank you for the 5 gifted. To be fair, the university games lecturing surprised even me, but apparently an annoying tendency to be right
of the
helps.
newest denizen of the cave.
I don't follow. I feel like I came in the middle of a conversation on that one. Oh, you thought it was Mucha Maga. No, no, no. This is a person who is welcome here. Double Taco Tier 1, 16 months. Speaking of 16, hey Dad, can I borrow the car? Damn, dude. Grayson's like 4 years away from driving. Shit, what am I gonna do about cars for my kids? Chat, listen. I'm gonna be drawing up a stream schedule between now and 15 years from now. Let me know what you want to see. Because it would appear I am not going anywhere. Jumping Jesus on a pogo stick, man. Double Taco, thank you so much. I'd be so curious to see how all this unfolds. If I do manage to do this for a long time, which I'm not averse to, I can't think of anything else I would want to do. Certainly not for comparable pay. It'll be interesting to see how it all plays out. Like, for example, we've already had a couple of kids come in here and claim to be from Grayson and Rory's classes. But what happens when they're old enough to be on the platform and I just suddenly have like, hey, Mr. Caps. And it's like, what? Like, yeah, I remember I came over the other day and we watched Avengers 7 at your house. It's me, Chazelbury. Oh, Chazelbury. What's going on, man? What are you doing here? I just like Twitch. Just like Twitch. What are you playing? Grayson. Chazelbury is in chat. Oh, yeah, tell him I said hi. Is it weird or cool that I do what you do? Like, is it at your high school, am I considered like a cool dad? Or am I considered like a fucking weirdo? The fucking jury's kind of out both ways. Oh, okay. Chazelbury is my next D&D character. Make them get jobs. I don't think I could stop Grayson desires independence so intently that I'm not sure I could stop Grayson from like getting a job the moment he's able to. Rory, on the other hand, just wants to hang out. Like, he doesn't want to move out. He doesn't want to do anything besides just hang out with us. Sleep, eat, and play video games. Conversation with my 16-year-old self. Look, someday you're going to get into archaeology and discover the Ark of the Covenant. Wait, are we going to be archaeologists? Yes, but don't you have questions about the rest? Nah, I'm not gullible. Just my old Honda Civics, Honda Accords, Toyota Corollas, and Toyota Camrys, bulletproof and can do a ton of miles, shoot to fix and run. That sounds great. That sounds really smart. I was in kind of a weird boat with my family. My family bought me an old, like, basically cast iron quarter-ton pickup truck. But then, and I'll level with you here, chat, I hit a pedestrian. I didn't, like, do it on purpose, but it was traumatizing for all parties involved. Everyone was fine. The damage done was a sprained ankle. Half no complaints. But as soon as that was as soon as that happened, they took the truck away from me, understandably so. And they gave me the Pathfinder, our family Pathfinder, the nicest car in the fleet. Because it was the safest car in the fleet. And then I wrecked that one. And in a weird sort of way, I feel like my parents felt obliged to get me something equally nice after that. So they got me like a used Jeep Grand Cherokee. And it was so weird because like even the guy who ran the theater company I was working for at the time responded with like, why does the intern have a nicer car than me? And I was like, I don't fucking know, man. No idea.
The lovers.
Your guess is as good as mine. I have no idea why I have this nice ass car. To my credit, I didn't get in an accident with that one, which was nice. I just need a couple more hearts. But yeah, like, it would have made sense to have gotten me like a Camry or Corolla or some beater fucking throwaway car that just worked, you know? A few years ago, my WoW's guild mains tank became one of my university students. It's a small world. That's crazy. It's cool, though. Yeah, Vio, like, I hope Gamer Dad, and I hope that's cool, but, like, I don't have to fucking explain to you what the toxic side of Twitch is like. What happens, you know, what happens if, like, what happens if some of their friends are, like, and, like, what happens, not if they're friends, I guess, but, like, what happens if some of the people at their school are, like, are like, shitty, super toxic, fucking Dead by Daylight killer mains, you know? What if they're like, you know, shit-talking, teabagging Valorant and CSGO players, and they're just like, oh, your dad who plays the stupid baby game? And listen, chat, my only comeback that I have is wholly dependent on you. I want them to be able to turn around and be like, my dad who out-earns your parents combined. Is it the Survivor mains who are toxic? Alright. I'll have to take your word for it. They're all bullies. I'm sure there's plenty of blame to go around. I drive a 2006 F-150, and when we leased the 2019 Pathfinder, the radio just kept mysteriously dying every time we paired our cell phones with it via Bluetooth. That would then in turn ruin the backup camera, so... My Pathfinder was a 93 Pathfinder, and it really truly was my baby. The only reason I got into the accident was because I was You're never gonna believe this, chat, but I was super anxious to get laid, and so I was driving literally through a blizzard to try to get to my college. I say my college girlfriend. She was 10 years older, and she was in her 30s. I was 22 and she was 32, but I was. Oh, you little rat bastard! I wasn't even looking that way. I just have to keep myself alive long enough to get that health back. Come on, man. I don't like being as slow as I am. I need to generate more space, too. I need to generate more space between me and enemies. I'm letting them get way too close to me. Is Gray really 11 already? God, tell me about it, dude. I was near tears last night. Like, sincerely. Grayson came in to hug me goodnight. I was watching Justin. And I finally gave in and started playing Super Auto Pets. It's fun. That game's fun as hell. Ooh. And Grayson came in and said goodnight, Dad, and he gave me a hug. And he turned around to walk off. And he and I like joked around for a little bit. And he's giggling. He turned around to walk off to go to bed. And it dawned on me that it was going to be my last ever 10-year-old Grayson hug. Man, I'm so bad. I dodged knowing full well I'd get hit there. I kind of panicked. And I was like, I need another hug. And he goes, because it's the last 10-year-old hug? And I was like, yeah, it's because, yes, exactly that. It's the last 10-year-old hug. He's like, all right, come here. And he gave me a hug. And then he tried to pull away, and I was just like, oh, no. That's not how this is going to work. You got to come back here and hug me for, like, a real long time. So thankfully he, you know, he found humor in it. I'd have been sad if he'd have been like, this is so dumb, don't do this, you're embarrassing me. But he was just like, all right, get it out of your system, old man. But yeah, I had to hug him for a really long time last night. The same kid who was on mine, like I wonder if I could reach out to Rob and get that that one video back from him. I hope he privated it and didn't delete it. But on our channel, once upon a time, I don't know if any of you guys remember the Hidden Masters. Like Louis Caliber and all those guys. But they were collaborating friends of ours on Machinima. And they had a very iconic horns song that they used. And it was very catchy. And Grayson at like 2 years old or 1 year old heard it and started to dance, and I caught it on camera with my phone. And the funny thing was, he was doing this little 1-year-old dance. And I said something to the effect of like, oh, Grayson, you know, great dancing. I said, get down. You know, like, get down. Gotta get down to get funky. But I said, get down to a 1-year-old, so he instantly just laid down on the ground and looked at me for further instructions. And Rob and I had that up on our YouTube channel for a long time, but then when Rob and I had our split, he privated everything that had, like, very personal connections to me to it. All the me videos and all the, like, family videos and stuff got privated. Should keep my coffee over here so I don't knock it over. Our oldest just turned 18. She graduates in May. So many feels happening. I'm not ready for that yet. I'm not ready to look that deep down the. I'm not ready to look that deep down the emotional tunnel. Oh, Torin, I don't know. I've screwed up being a dad plenty of times already. I can already think of a handful of things that, you know, even at 11 and 7, there's a part of me that's just like, oh, I wish I hadn't fucked that up so bad. I don't know. My dad did better than his parents. I'm trying to do better than my dad. Hopefully, if Gray and Rory decide to have kids, they'll do better than me. Just try to do better than the ones who were before us. My daughter turns 16 in November. You're staying in this hug till you're 11. I wish I'd had the constitution to pull that card. Kamai, good morning, and thank you. Yeah, Gray has let us know that we are doing sushi for dinner. And I'm pretty okay with it. Oh, thanks, Lisa. I'm trying. I'm trying for sure. Wow, what a stingy little bastard that guy is. I kind of want to go check this room out. If this is health, I'll do it in a heartbeat. What a huge disappointment. I don't know what any of those pills are except paralysis. I can't really see myself fighting 2 extra bosses for a paralysis pill. I met my wife when my son was already 9, so I feel like I missed out on so much of his life. Now my son's 15, and we're just trying to make up for lost time. That's fucking awesome. Parenting is a long exercise in failure. The problem is that everyone involved is learning how to do their part as it happens. Hashtag no take backs or do-overs. I remember the first thing that ever really like resonated with me, the first time where I was just like, we've done a bad thing. Grayson was a baby. We were still living in an apartment. We were living in a two-bedroom, 1-bath apartment. And Grayson was a baby. And he was still like an infant. So we were getting ready to wash his hair under the sink, under the tap in the sink. So we got it to just the right temperature. You know, just desperately trying not to hurt our kid. I'm actually gonna play this out. I don't know what I'm hoping for. Soul Hearts? Skatole? Bombs? Keys, I guess? I just feel like I need advantages that I don't currently have. So anyway, we're getting ready to put his head underwater, and Amber was like, oh, we need to turn the water pressure up a little bit, so she turned the water pressure up. Well, what we didn't... There, that's the kind of shit I'm talking about. That might actually be exactly what I needed. What we didn't realize was that when we turned the water pressure up, the shitty apartment faucet also decided to drastically change the temperature of the water. And I wish I could say it went colder, but it went scalding hot. And I didn't know, we didn't notice it until we dipped Grayson's poor little infant scalp into the water, and then I felt it hit my finger. Like, he instantly started crying because it was scalding hot water. And it hit my finger and burned me, and we pulled, obviously he was only in there for a fraction of a second. Thank God. But it felt like an eternity. And then I just remember spending the next, like, hour holding him. Like, Amber, I was the emotional wreck and Amber was the composed one. Amber went and got a cold washcloth and put it on his scalp. He didn't, like, he got a little bit red for a little bit and then it went away. So it's not as bad as it could have been, but it wasn't good either. And I was the emotional wreck who just sat there and held him and rocked back and forth for like an hour and a half. Basically, I just sat there for an hour and a half, rocked back and forth. Motherfucker, I got hit by a fly. I just sat there for like an hour and a half, rocking back and forth, apologizing to him. Maddie, good morning. I think we're just gonna have to be okay with what we have right now. I should look for the secret room. There have also been a couple of times where I've been antagonistic towards the boys in a very, like, sarcastic... I treat them the way I treat chat sometimes, and I really shouldn't. Because I have to remind myself that, generally speaking, if I come to verbal blows with somebody... Damn, man, I need more soul hearts, because I want to see what's in that curse room, but not bad enough to lose this soul heart. I have to remind myself that sometimes, like, when I pick a verbal altercation with somebody in chat, 9 times out of 10, I'm dealing with somebody in their 20s or 30s. And then my kids are 7 and 11 and still figuring out reality. And then I'm also their dad and not like just some rando stranger. So that part I could be better about. Aaron, good morning. I don't know. It does to a certain extent feel like you're doomed to fail. Talon, good morning as well. Yeah, to a certain extent it does feel like you're doomed to fail. Game breaking bug. Man, you're cool and all that jazz, but like, you're transforming enemies and making some of them harder. You know? Mellow Muffin, welcome back. Oh, I really want that. $5.70. Goodness gracious. I need to find the time to get some Animal Crossing in, maybe this weekend. I was so gassed on Saturday. Once I sat down and like cuddled up with Amber and the boys, once I sat down with Amber and the boys and cuddled up and like started watching a movie, my ass wasn't getting up again to come up here and boof Montoya Animal Crossing. The best realization about parenting we had is it's not an algorithm. You don't put in X and Y comes out, mainly because you're dealing with humans that make their own choices. The biggest thing that I had to learn, and it took me longer than I'd like to admit to learn it, was that not everything my parents did was right. That like just because it was something that I went through didn't mean that it was something that my kids should have to go through, specifically corporal punishment. It took me longer to realize than I admit that like Amber and I got to a place. It didn't take all the time in the world, but it did take me longer than I like to think about. That we were just like, oh, spankings and shit is not for us. Just because I got spanked as a kid doesn't mean that it was the right way to do it. At least not for me. I always felt like fucking history's greatest monster when I did that. Yeah, Juice, that was the thing too, is that like it didn't even produce the desired results. You know what I mean? I don't know. I might have just been like, I might have just been a very like as a kid, my desire to please my parents was overwhelmingly high, and I think that like between being downright frightened of my dad, I mean not like call Child Protective Services frightened, but my dad was a big scary nom vet. My dad was a big snarling, angry former cop, former truck driver, you know, Vietnam War veteran. Who, when he chose to be, would be very scary. You know? So, like, but it's like, A, that's not who I am. I'm of all the things that I am, I don't think scary is very high on the list. That doesn't mean that I don't pull dad voice on them and roar at them from time to time, but I don't know. The idea of ever letting my parents down or disappointing them just weighed so heavily on me that I was just, I don't know. I'd like to think that I was a very, like, obedient child. Between all the shit that church piped into my head and just the age that it was, I was very desperate to make my parents happy. I feel like my kids were too smart to sort of leverage 1950s parenting techniques against them. So, a more causality based, a more cause and effect based system. Shit. A more cause and effect based system works better with specifically with Grayson, but it also works pretty well with Rory as well. Yeah, Ghost Cubby, in retrospect, you know, you realize that your parents were just pulling stuff out of their ass. I think the scariest parents out there are the ones who claim to know what they're doing. Parents who claim to have all the answers scare the shit out of me. They're usually also the ones who give you advice that sound like it came off of like a novelty coffee mug. Rosary bead? I just gulped rosary bead, I think. Truck driver is the scariest of the three. My dad was a trucker for most of his life, and manhandling trucks makes them into low-key monsters. Yeah, my dad was a truck driver for Ryder. He was an insurance claims adjuster. He was a non-vet. He was a cop. And then he spent decades at the post office. Yeah, honestly, Vlad, I'm 41. I'm in okay shape. But I'm 41 years old and my dad's 70, and I'm pretty sure if I got into a bar fight with him, he'd kick the shit out of me. Raising kids ain't easy, but we've managed to do it for a hell of a long time. I just, you know, I want to limit the amount of damage that I do. That's really it. It's all damage control. It's all just damage control, man. I understand that there's almost no way that any human being ends up on this planet for decades and decades and decades that they don't at some point just straight up kind of low-key need a therapist to sort through the cyclone that is reality and existence. But I want the amount of that conversation that's about how their father treated them to be kept to a bare bones minimum. Yeah, Juice, I'm in that world too right now, where what works with Grayson, who is a sort of highly rational, intellectual, cause and effect child. What works for Grayson doesn't work for Rory, because Rory is emotional and explosive and deeply empathetic. So I can straight up just look Grayson in the eye and just leverage him with facts. Cause and effect facts. You did this, this happened. Don't do this, and that won't happen. And he kind of nods and is like, yeah, all right, yeah, I get it. Yeah, I get it. I'll be like, Rory, you did this, and this happened. And if you didn't do blank, then blank wouldn't happen. And Rory's sort of internal response feels very like, oh yeah? Oh yeah? Well, fuck you! Like, he's the one who just wants to be like, he's the one who's like, oh yeah? Oh yeah? I get what you're saying, Dad. But while we were talking, which one of us lit a stick of dynamite and is now holding it between the two of us? And it's like, oh shit. And he's like, yeah, oh shit's right. I'll see you in hell, old man. But then 30 minutes later, he'll feel bad that he yelled at me, and he'll just come bury his head in my lap or you know, nuzzle up in my chest and tell me how much he loves me. He's such a little psycho, and I love it. He's so intense. But I can't just leverage him with logic. I can't just leverage Rory with logic because his little brain is such a bonfire that honestly he'll just be like, yeah, what you said makes sense, but I don't like it, so counterpoint, fucking fuck you, I guess. Dad, I don't know that you've stopped to consider, go fist yourself. What? I would punch you in the neck if I could reach it. What? I didn't mean that. I love you, Dad. You're the best dad. What is going on? It's a real roller coaster of emotions, this conversation. Like, he's the one most likely to, like, remember when we were kids and we'd get into an argument with a parent and we just decide that we wanted to go scorched earth? And scorched earth meant saying, I hate you. Rory's the most likely to drop the I hate you bomb, but he's also the one most likely to feel devastated that he said it and then come back like an hour later and then tell me that he's not only never going to, like, never gonna like move away from me and leave me, but he's also gonna like buy a house in the same neighborhood and like rescue a dog so that he and I can have a dog together. And then he's gonna come drink beer and watch sports with me on the weekends. But if I come down too hard on him, he's also the one who looks like he's trying to figure out when he could most easily slip a steak knife into my ear.
This is the story of the newest denizen of the cave.
Yeah, Rory's emotions are dialed up to 11. Dad, you have a point there. But have you considered fuck your couch? Yeah, birth order stereotypes aren't always true, but the second born, man, they are volatile. Reg, tier 1, 28 months. Happy birthday, Gray. I'm excited. It's Grayson also likes sushi and has decided that sushi is what he wants for birthday dinner tonight, so I will make that happen for him for sure. I won't do like Nate and Heather amounts of sushi. I can't go dropping no $280 on dinner. But I will definitely get him whatever he wants, and I will not be disappointed. I mean, like last year, was it last year or the year before? I think it was the year before because the pandemic makes time weird. But the year before, Grayson took us to fucking Arby's of all places for dinner because that's what he wanted. So I had to eat Arby's. So at least this year he's like, I'd like sushi, and I'm like, that sounds just fine. That reminds me of when I was a teenager, and my parents would tell me to do something, and the more that often they told me to do it, the less I wanted to. That's Rory. That's Rory. Rory works on like his manners and consideration the way I imagine like an alcoholic who's working their way through AA does. Rory's the one who will say like, yes ma'am, no sir, yes please, no thank you, but then he'll instantly turn around and go, did you see how I use my manners? Wasn't that good? I've been practicing. Like he wants you, like he needs you to validate. He needs you to validate that he's hitting his 12 steps. Arby's, we have the Smeats. Did you say Smeat? Yeah, like meat. Only you don't know exactly what it is. I want to like Arby's so much, but there's two things that keep me from enjoying it. And one is that Arby's in this area are owned by the people who were my last employers. Those employers liked me. And they still treated me like shit. I can't even imagine what it was like to work for them if they didn't like you. And then two is that the last couple of times I've gone to Arby's, man, like nothing I have had there I've enjoyed. Which feels weird because it used to be a place that I enjoyed going to as a kid. But I genuinely have been like unimpressed with my meals the last several times I've gone to Arby's. I used to be Rory, so I completely get his brain. Yeah, he runs real hot. He's a real volatile dude. Unless of course Chad abides them getting a $280 sushi dinner. Listen, I never stop you guys from memeing, and any act of generosity is always greatly appreciated. But I also don't want to become the streamer who's dependent on strangers to like, hey chat, there's this like, it's one thing where I'm like, I want to go the extra mile and have full-size candy bars for Halloween. That's some extra shit, you know? I think that the relationship that we have exists especially to provide those moments that are extra, you know? Alien Isolation in VR, full-size candy bars for Halloween, a fucking pergola. Moments that are extra is kind of what all this is about. But, you know, getting my kid his birthday dinner, that shouldn't be an extra thing. That's like a dad should do that no matter what thing. So he'll get whatever he wants, you know. Vlad, thank you so much. Happy birthday, Grayson. All hail King Bug and Prince Grayson. Like Taffy said, it's a double-edged sword. As the firstborn, I have trouble relating to my secondborn, but I love her to death. Amber and I were both firstborns. Honestly, neither one of us have an easy time relating to Rory because he just runs so hot. Rory's little emotional state is just constantly on fire. Amber and I were both very parent-pleasing, obedient firstborn children. And Rory is the one that we're just like, why did you crawl out onto the roof? And he's like, I wanted to sleep outside for the night. And we're like, dude, there's snow on the roof. And he's like, that's why I wanted to come back in. Okay. Just trying to figure out whether or not, if there's a lot of hearts on the ground, it might be worth it to go play out that blood bank just to see if I can get it to pay out with more speed and health. Yeah, I don't ever want to get to a place where I feel like I'm finessing chat to try to provide for like very basic, like, hey chat, we need groceries. And it's like, oh man, somebody better pony up for groceries. Especially after the financial leak. I'm not destitute, you know, by any stretch of the imagination. I got some disposable income. I don't ever want to get to a point where it's like, I'm asking chat to provide for like, hey everybody. Hey everybody, my last checkup, my primary care physician found a lump. Now I'm gonna start a hype train here that hopefully is gonna, you know, get the ball rolling on pre-cancer screening. Nah, Grayson will get whatever he wants tonight. Come hell or high water. We make any money today, great. We don't make money today, that's fine too. My boy will get his birthday dinner. Man, I better hold on to a gulp. What floor am I on? Depths 2, huh? Yeah, too forgetful. Maybe I was just like, when I was a kid, maybe I just enjoyed fast food that much more, but it feels like it's easier. I mean, here's the thing is like Amber really enjoyed Taco Bell through our 20s and 30s, but the last several times I've had Taco Bell, it's just been hot garbage. The Wendy's near us sucks too, and I remember liking Wendy's. I don't know if it's just, yeah, if it's just that fast food has found a way to suck more over the years or what. I don't need the money on this floor, I just kind of am hoping for a health upgrade or something. Amy Monster, thank you so much. Yeah, chat, I need toilet paper, please send me some. I've added my groceries to stream gifts. Please handle my basic human needs. Torn, thank you for the 32 bits. Dynamex, thank you for the 32 bits. Yeah, Grayson will be a teen in 2 years. I just got like lightheaded when I said that. Grayson will be a teen in 2 years. Pheromones. We might as well donate. We got nothing else going on. You can't convince me the Taco Bell's menu and quality hasn't dropped substantially over the years. It can't just be my palate is more refined. Yeah, I just, you know, I feel like McDonald's has stayed pretty consistent over the years, but I didn't think very highly of it to begin with. More or less, Burger King is roughly on par with where it's been before. But like the ones that I remember, like with the exception of Panda, which I've had bad experiences at Panda before, but that was more, you know, localized. Like that was like, oh, that location, you know, at a truck stop in Florida was not good. Let's do this. Oh, I don't have to fight her. This is one of the few places where we get a reprieve. But yeah, like, I couldn't see him. He took a weird route. But overwhelmingly, my experiences with Panda have been good. And a lot of the places that I don't think all that highly of, but I know what I'm getting when I go there. I mean, like McDonald's chicken nuggets haven't changed since the 80s. You know, McDonald's is roughly the same. Burger King is roughly the same. But a lot of the places I remember thinking to myself in like my 20s and 30s, like, ah, this place is pretty dynamite. This fast food joint is pretty great. I way prefer this over just regular old McDonald's. Have all taken a pretty significant dip in my estimation. You know what sucks? Chipotle fight me? I got no strong feelings one way or the other about Chipotle. I very rarely find myself in the mood for a burrito the size of a boot. It's fine. I don't think it's worth what I pay for it. I see like, you know, Tim and Ninja and all these guys like freaking out over Chipotle sponsorships and like Chipotle celebrity cards and all that jazz. And while I think it's cool, while I think it's super cool to get a sponsorship from a national chain, I can't lie, there's a part of me that'd be kind of disappointed if Noah came back and goes, yo, I got you a sponsorship with a national fast food chain. And I'd be like, no shit, who'd you get? He'd be like, Chipotle. And I'd be like, ah, fuck right. Okay, yeah, all right, that's sounds like a lot of money. Do I have to eat it on screen? He's like, I mean, it would help. And I'm like, oh, fuck. All right, I guess. All right. How much money is it? Okay, yeah, I guess I could eat a lot of Chipotle. Arialis, what's going on? Welcome. Thank you for the raiding party. How was stream today? What'd you play? National chain tap, you'll love it. It's Chick-fil-A. No, I'm gonna need... Aw, man, I moved... Here, I'm gonna move again. I moved thinking he would shoot down here, and then when I moved back, he shot to my original location. That sucked. Popeyes. I would do Popeyes in a heartbeat. It's banana balls to me how, like, all those chains that I talked about where I was like, oh yeah, this place used to be really high in my estimation, and now I really don't even like going there anymore. They've been replaced by Popeyes. Popeyes is fucking dynamite.
This is the story of the newest denizen of the cave.
Very convenient to fire my sister-in-law. She was 5 months pregnant after stellar reviews. Oh, this is Chipotle? It's not the first time it happened to pregnant women I know. That sucks. Like, you know, I don't have any, like, moral stance against Chipotle or anything like that. I just, I'm never excited to spend that kind of money on their food. It's fine, but it's like spending $12 on a movie ticket for a movie you're really not even interested in seeing. First playthrough of Rise of the Tomb Raider. I haven't played a Tomb Raider game since Lara's boobs were triangular. I feel the same way about Chipotle that I feel about Five Guys. It's fine, and I don't feel mad or upset that I'm eating it, but I always get to the end and I feel very heavy, and I know that I feel like I paid too much and I feel very heavy. The Tomb Raiders are really great, Taffy. You'd love them. Very solid, including the sequels. I feel like, Kat, if there was ever like, you know, like Picasso painted in like phases and periods, I feel like if I were to ever to hit like an action adventure period, like what do? I was painted into a fucking corner. Look at how dumb my items are. Like my deal with the devil items are non-existent because I'm not picking up shade. Look at this. This is one less item too, because ultimately one of my items is fucking rosary bead. I feel like at some point if I hit like an action adventure phase, I've never played any of the it's the Nathan Drake ones. I haven't played any of the new Tomb Raiders. Uncharted. I haven't played any of the Uncharted series. Nice. Oh my god. What a helpful spirit heart that is. Yeah, I've never played any of those. I did play the new God of War. I actually just uploaded that entire playthrough to our new YouTube channel that has all of our non-Isaac gameplay on it. So, you know, God of War, we're uploading.
The High Priestess.
We're Cletus and I are uploading range. I got range. They're all range upgrades from one side of the screen to the other. Cletus and I are uploading all of our playthroughs, and we're kind of bookending it. So what we're doing is we're doing the oldest ones and the newest ones at the same time. So God of War was the first story-driven game that chat ever paid me to play. So God of War is uploaded. We finished the Outer Wilds upload, which was earlier this year. Ori and the Blind Forest is up. That was August. Ori 2 is starting to go up. That was in August. The Last of Us is from 2018. We did a playthrough of that in 2018. We're starting to put that up. It's fun to kind of see the old layout and the old sound, like the old effects or lack thereof. But eventually, at some point, we'll have all of our VODs pushed over to the new YouTube channel. BioShock. I can't remember if all of our BioShocks are on there, but they would go over. I have a Sonic across the street from me. I've never been to it because there's a town where everything's 4 stars. It's only a little over 3, which makes me nervous. I have a nostalgia spot in my heart for Sonic. The food is not particularly good, but I grew up on chili cheese tater tots and cherry limeades. The irony is we've gotten our ass kicked so bad on this floor that it actually gets easier to clear rooms because of the little red gusty thing. Boy, am I super glad that I took Rotten Baby. That's a huge source of damage output for us. The world map is probably worth it. On the next floor, it'll help us decide whether or not there are like points of interest or boss trap rooms or mob trap rooms or anything we can access that'll help us out a little. But anyway, yeah, that's son of a bitch. I can't kill anything. There goes my soul heart. Oh no. I gotta get out of here before I lose my eternal heart, he said. Prophetically. You motherfuckers wanna go? There's no harm in looking around now. Oh. What sucks too is that I keep hitting like the enemy closest to me, getting it down to like 75% health, and then game breaking bug changes it into something else and I have to start all over again. It'll probably be fine, but like damn, what a pain in the ass this has been. I'll definitely not leave here without finding the secret room and second secret room. Not with infinite bombs. There's no way now. I'm looking for every advantage the game will give me. I don't care if I can't see the map. I've tried Borderlands 2 twice, and both times I haven't been able to really get myself going on it. What a disappointing floor. I feel like I'm not really recovering from that first sacrifice room where I gave up all those soul hearts. Ice, what's going on, man? Welcome back. I've started Borderlands 2 twice and just have never finished it. It's not even that I dislike it. I just I don't know. I get the teensiest bit bored, I guess. I've never played Borderlands 3. I've never watched anybody play Borderlands 3. There was a part of me that was kind of, not really, but like the teensiest bit stung when Borderlands 3 did their big reveal. They flew a whole bunch of influencers out, which included like a half dozen of my friends. They flew like a half dozen influencers out and did like this big reveal event, and like, as far as I know, my name wasn't even like whispered in the potential list of like people who should go out there. And I like that didn't decide whether or not I was gonna play it, but like I cooled off an awful lot. The same way that like you're not gonna believe this. Fallout 76. They did a whole bunch of promotional stuff, and they didn't involve like they didn't basically like it was never hinted that I was ever considered for any of it. So that wasn't like a deciding factor in whether or not I wanted to be involved, but you know, like I was just like, ah, well, I'll wait and see how the reviews do for this game. And in both instances, like, a lot of people seem to feel like Borderlands 3 wasn't their cup of tea, and Fallout 76 had one of the worst game launches of all time. Did Noah go in your place? I mean, it wouldn't surprise me, but I don't think he did. I think this is at a point in time where Noah was still finding his footing. Well, this is a very scary run. Thank God I've got 37 range upgrades. I'm gonna work. Oh my God. No! That's why there's a part of me that hates all the sort of gimmicky... What are you doing? Yes! All the gimmicky side attacks that happen. Like all the gimmicky like dark arts and bloodlust and all that jazz. Like, damn, dude, all I do is end up rushing. Like, the only place where the new gimmick that puts me in peril is actually fun in my mind's eye is Tainted Keeper, because you gotta rush in to get the coins and sort of save your health. But like, you're not really punished either because like, A, you need the health to live, and B, all the like deals with the devil and deals with the angel kind of happen anyway, you know? Like, it's not traditional health. Yeah, Rotten Baby's doing hard carry right now. And honestly, I regret picking up Game Breaking Bug. I probably should be using it more to try to like change stuff like this, right? Like if I'm sitting here complaining that I don't have soul hearts to insulate myself, maybe what I should be doing is just rolling stuff over and over again until I find the thing that I need. Borderlands 3 was meh in my opinion. The villains were a letdown considering how good I thought Handsome Jack was as the villain in 2. Yeah, Handsome Jack's a tough act to follow. I guess I did play a Borderlands game. I played the Telltale one. Tales from the Borderlands. That shit was dynamite. That was an example of Telltale at its finest. And I played probably, you know, 10% of Borderlands 2 twice. Oh, El Pablo, that's new. That's new with Repentance, the game-breaking bug stuff. Fuck me. No, I don't give a shit about your fucking stupid phone. It didn't used to do that. This run's been exhausting. Yeah, probably. Shit. Don't touch any of it. Matter of fact, let's do this real quick. Thank goodness for the Bible. No! Here's the problem. If one of them's an active item, I'm mega boned because I'm gonna get bounced off it and into the spikes, and at that point the other one's off the table. If they're both passives, I can take both of them. It's fine. I can just rush through. If one of them's inactive, I'm fucked. Oh! It made my nipples hard. Honestly, if one of those had been an active item, I was dead. That was very scary. Yo, can we get Guppy? I basically was just like, you know what? If it kills me, it kills me. But there's a real bummer about wasting the first hour and 13 minutes of your day for a run you can't put up on YouTube and that ultimately just kind of dooms you. Damn, man. I would have let you go all day. Don't be cursed eye. Oh, look at this turnaround. Look at this change of pace right here. Cursed Eye is fun. Cursed Eye is fun if you like watching me get weepy. Dude, Eye of Belial. Eye of Belial is welcome at my table. We're living. Oh my god, look at this run! I genuinely don't think I'm gonna take that so I can have Polaroid invincibility. Boy, how this run has changed. This run's changed you, man. This run's changed you, man. I don't even recognize you anymore. Yeah, I had a buddy one time. Well, you know what? I might take Cursed Eye. Not Cursed Eye. I might take this Eternal Heart if my man here pays out with health. That's health. Okay, so now we'll take the Eternal Heart. It's okay. I don't think it's that big a deal. Shit on me. Okay, hold on. Give me all your red hearts, game. Oh my god. Give me all your red hearts. Why, Taffy? Why are you intentionally dodging poor? Like, it's almost like self-sabotage. I don't understand. I know better than to make some of the dodges I'm making, and then I do it anyway. I'm losing so much more health than I should. This shouldn't even be really a run that's in question, but I've inadvertently manufactured drama. I hear ya. Neat. Huh. Huh. Alright, Here's what we're gonna do as soon as I get back. We are going to grab the... We grabbed the Polaroid. So as soon as I get back, one at a time. Alright. Oh, I messed that series up. God, why are all the red hearts so far away? Ryan, what's going on,
Look at
homie?
you, Stanley. Flaunting your disposable income with that donation to Taffy.
K-Strip, what have you done? Answer me, young man. What's going on? Candy bars? Dude, I got 366 candy bars coming. I never thought I'd say this, but I don't think I need more candy sent to me. I think the mission has been accomplished. I think it's mission accomplished on the candy bars. Oops. Seriously, none of these guys are paying out. What is going on? I need to dump all this stuff outside. Think of the kids, Taffy? I am. Shit. It's the whole point is that I'm trying to put high quality candy into these kids' hands. But what do I do with like the 200 extras? I'd like to point out that none of you answering me are K-Stroop, so there's a part of me that, like, I'm still waiting for a response from the person responsible. Donate the leftovers to a food bank? Fair enough. Your wish is my command, chat. I haven't gotten one of these guys to pay out. This blows my mind a little bit. One of the hearts is chilling inside the curse room, so I'd have to get hurt to make that happen. Game breaking bug isn't back yet, and won't be on this floor. I'm blown away that these guys aren't, like, not one of them. Not one of them is paid out. Yeah, Lucky Foot and False PhD are just, Lucky Foot and False PhD are just fighting each other for dominance right now. That's it, that's all that's happening. No, you son of a bitch, that wasn't what was in the plan.
Speed down.
Huh. Interesting. I wish you hadn't done that, you butthole. Oh. Huh. Ah, dude, I missed out on a couple of plays there while I was hurt. If I was gonna be hurt anyway, I might as well have dosed up. I'm going one more. Can't remember what makes stem cell trigger. Heals Isaac's red heart containers to 50% on each floor. Gross. That doesn't help me. Not right now. I think I just go. I don't think I overcomplicate this. Oh, you know what I could do real quick? I could look for one more red heart. I thought I had more red hearts on this. Well, you know what? It's not that I thought I had more red hearts on this floor. I thought for certain that those guys would have paid out a lot faster. I was incorrect. What if I just don't take any red hearts with me? Yeah, that feels right. What if we leave all this red heart health on the floor and we just take the Polaroid and Horror Babylon with us? I think that's what we do. Wish I could see. So much more fucking work than I want it to be. Doesn't Ansys clear this curse? No. That's Degas. Unless they change something and I don't remember it, I'd just be burning this. I'd be burning this trinket for, or I'd be burning this for no reason. Oh no. I was just thinking to myself the other day, what this game needs is more invincible enemies. Alright, anytime this wants to stop, there we go. It's a cute gimmick, but it ain't a late game gimmick. It's a cute gimmick, but it's not a late game gimmick. I have to remind myself not to be a dipshit. I need to remind myself not to be a dipshit and not to take... Not to hit the Bible. Not to hit the Bible on, Oh, shit. Not to hit the Bible on the, Isaac fight. Sorry, I don't know why I was struggling with that. Oh, fuck off. I'd be straight up dead if I hadn't found quite so much health as I've found. Where? There's too much shit on the screen. Fuck me. Just walk. Oh my god. Just walking around looking for soul hearts. Alright, I gotta admit that was pretty helpful. I gotta admit, the little gimmicky bone saws ready, like that bit was useful there. There we are. There we are. I don't know, I thought I'd take a Hail Mary shot at it. I think we'll be okay, but man, I'm not doing myself any favors. For a split second, I thought they were gonna hide the map from us again, and I was gonna be very upset. I don't think I'm feeling Ipecac. That feels
This is the
awfully
story
risky.
of the newest denizen of
Heartbroke
the
tier
cave.
1, 28 months. Heartbroke, thank you so much for the continued support. It's a big ass number. Now, if I need to, I can panic. I'll just wait. If I need to, I can panic and smash the shit out of the spacebar. Is an Ipecac with your spacebar item insane? I mean, yeah, it's probably pretty good. But I also like firing tears. You know what? This is how we're finishing it.